All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the fourth week of the EDL Podcast. This is your host, Exernian, and today I'm just joined by Kenzii from Burger Flip eSports. So, if you want to go and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kenzii. I'm the top laner for Burger Flip eSports.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously, we didn't get a really high turn up from Burger Flip. So, Kenzii, if you want to elaborate on that, or was everyone busy?
Um, so uh, I think everyone's busy. Some people didn't want to.
Yeah, and
Uh,
that's fine.
and then some people were just busy.
Hmm.
Looking at it, I didn't actually get that much responses, which kind of sad, but yeah.
That's okay. I mean, like like I said when I talked to you earlier, like I could have just skipped over Burger Flip, but I think it's still important that we like talk to all the teams that we can. So
Yeah,
that is okay. And you're like, I want to be on the podcast, so here we are. You know,
here we are.
it's okay. One-on-one session. It's fine. You know.
hmm
All right. So if I remember correctly, you joined Burger Flip. Was it the second or the third week?
Second
The
week,
second week. Okay.
and I e-subbed.
Okay. Um, yeah, so do you want to like talk about why you joined Burger Flip then?
Um, so so I was in the ZGG, pitiful or whatever, who we were up against that week said Berg Flip needed an e-sub for the game because TJ or whatever couldn't come. So I'm like, okay, I'm free, I'll join. Uh, I joined. I think we lost 2-1 that series. Yeah, I think it was 2-1 that
Oh,
series.
against CB rookies?
Yeah.
Yep, in the second week.
Um,
I do remember that.
yeah. Uh, and then I'm just like, and then they're like, okay, uh, okay, and then I'm just like, next week, they're putting me in part of the game plan, and so like that's just kind of how I joined.
Oh, so
Uh,
you kind of like decided to stick around?
yeah, and they decided to like just let me stick around. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, you subbed for the week, you can go out. No, it was not like that. It was just like, all right, well, you're here with us now,
Oh,
kind of thing.
it's like, oh, you're on our team now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, that work. You know what, that works. Uh,
Okay.
and then I joined the server here. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, like it was a bit unfortunate. Like Burger Flip did have TJ leave the first week, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, what do you think about Burger Flip then, like coming into the season?
Um, I think just like how I think we are as a team is like what you're
Yeah,
asking.
yeah.
Because I wasn't here for week one whatsoever. Uh,
Mm-hmm. When you like even subbed in and like came into the team, like how was the
oh yeah.
team in
Uh,
general?
it was pretty good. Like everyone's mentals seemed fine at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we were like really hyped up that we took a game off of CB rookies, and we should have actually beat them because
Yeah, what
we
happened that
we
series then?
um. So I was not up against the Nocturne top. I I went 6-1 in lane or whatever, but and then mid game they just would not fight us, right? And they kind of mental boomed, and so when I missed my Narston or whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, and then I'm like, okay, I just kind of tilted. I threw away my shutdown by overextending. Uh, I gave it to someone who scaled. I forgot exactly who. Uh, and we just slowly started falling apart. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
yeah.
went from 6-1 to 7-6 at the end of the game. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
could not do anything. I could have, but I just played so bad. I definitely think that if I just played better that week, we would have won. Um,
Okay. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I know where you're coming from. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's you make your own mistakes, and it's good that you realize that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's 5v5, right? It's not always
yeah,
just it doesn't always boil down to one person and their mistakes that costs you a game. Like, sure, I mean, like sometimes there's one mistake, but I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
more of a kind of a collection. Oh, Clutch just joined us. Hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Hello,
Clutch.
welcome. I need to turn you up. Okay.
I've
Me
arrived.
too.
Wow, you're really quiet,
Welcome.
man.
Uh, my bad.
You good?
I don't know what I did.
Um, I turned you up. Can you try talking again?
Hello.
Wow, you're still quiet. My
I'm just a
guy.
little special.
My guy's at like 200% now.
Wait, let me go see what I sound like. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, like I know what you mean. Like I remember seeing that you guys did even take a game off of CB Rookies. Like second week, you guys, you were the new top laner, E sub, right? And then
Yeah.
honestly, going into it, I was like thinking like, no way, like Burger Flip's probably gonna have to FF this week. Like, it's game day. They don't even have a top laner yet, and it was just
And then poof, I showed up.
yeah. And then poof, you showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like Burger Flip did look strong when we were coming into the season. Me, Clutch, Matt Pizza, and like a lot of the other staff were talking about it that the original iteration of Burger Flip had a really good looking roster. Like there were players that we knew, players that had kind of already made a name for themselves. So I
I
don't know.
still, yeah, I still think especially our botlane like kind of 1v5, you know. Same with our jungler too. Just like I don't know. I think like it's like they're both good. They're both good.
Yeah, yeah. Even last week we saw BNJ. Remember the
Oh
first game
yeah,
where he's playing Kai'Sa, just ran in. Like, I kind of
yeah,
wish we could have gotten BNJ on the podcast, but that's
yeah.
alright. It is
He was one of the
alright.
people I didn't get a response from. Being
Man.
good,
It's
yeah. Or
okay.
actually, maybe I did. I have no idea. But yeah, I think BNJ is great. Same with like Yumi in the Blood Beast. Uh,
Yeah, I think they're all good players too. And
me too. Me too. They're definitely better than I am.
then what do you think's like the main reason you guys have been dropping games?
Um, I think me, cause like I just am not like I'm enjoying them, but I'm not enjoying them. I'm just not enjoying who I'm being put on. But that's just team
Oh.
stuff.
Oh yeah. So you think are you feeling like you're always kind of put down onto tank duty?
hmm This week
Oh
though,
yeah.
I might be allowed to be put on like the Fior or the Camille. I'm hoping.
Yeah, so I also wanted to ask you about that. So this week is the last week of the regular split, and if Burger Flip loses, I'm pretty sure you guys can't make playoffs. So do you think like they'll just let you play the carries kind of
Uh,
as like a last desperation, like kind of last hope?
Probably not, but I would hope so. Also, I just got a response from my blood beast. Is it okay if he joins
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course you can join right now. We'll
Alright.
get him in. Get him to join the Burger Flip call, and I'll drag him in here. We're only like we're not even 10 minutes in, you know. I'm welcome to anyone that joins. This week is a
Yeah.
bit scuffed. I mean, like, oh my god, Streamlabs is making me I have to go remake all of my scenes, but uh, you know, that's how it is. Yeah, if we can get Blood Beast in here, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm talking to him right now.
Yeah, the more the merrier, honestly. Oh, I see him. Okay, I'm dragging him in. Hello, hello.
Hello there. How are you?
This is Blood Beast, correct?
Yes, it sure is.
Okay, Blood Beast. We are about like 9 minutes into recording. If you want to just give yourself a quick introduction.
Oh, okay. Hello there. I am Bloodbeast. I play the jungle position. I'm relatively new to the competitive scene. My only experience was a previous season that I played with Monkeys in Training in the ZGG League, and this is my second season in the jungle role.
Oh, okay. So then we'll ask, why did you transition from MIT to Burger Flip?
I actually came for CERM, more or less. He and I enjoyed playing together quite a bit, and he had let me know that he was leaving MIT and was kind of looking to join BFE and wanted to
Hmm.
see if I would tag along. And that seemed like something that was interesting to me. It wasn't really any like conflict of interest with MIT as much as it was just wanting to play with CERM.
Oh, okay. Yeah, understand that. Like, I remember going into the season two, Clutch and I talked about it a lot that you and Serm already had like really good synergy locked in together, and I think we were going into the season seeing you guys as probably like one of the most potent or even like one of the best mid jungle duos because you guys already had that synergy, like I said. Let's see if I remember what we were talking about.
I also forgot.
That is okay. So, I guess what we can also talk about, what you said earlier, Kenzii, you were talking about the games against CB rookies. So, I mean, I can ask Bloodbeast as well as for his thoughts.
Just on like how they went,
Yeah, so
or
Kenzii mentioned that you guys felt like you should have won the series. You guys took a game off of CB rookies, right? And then I don't remember if it was it the last game in the series that you felt like you could have won where you were playing Gnar, Kenzii?
Yeah, I think that was the one.
Okay.
yes, if that's the one that I'm remembering, that's where we made the turnaround play at Baron, but then we tried to do the Baron, which was not as good as an idea, and we like just didn't finish fast enough, so we ended up getting cleaned up at the Baron, I think it was.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
was the one.
Yes. But like, if we would just have cut our losses and well, we had won the fight and just not done the Baron and went and reset with our shutdowns, I think we could have tried to make a stand from there. We just got a little greedy, I think, and tried to go for the Baron as well.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah,
Mm.
there was definitely a point in that game where we had actually regained the lead, and if we would have just relaxed and sat on it, I think we would have been okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, like when I see you guys play, like I mentioned this to Kenzii earlier, I thought that you guys had a really good roster coming in because like I said, you guys had kind of already like you had you and Serm and just a few other names like BNJ, like we already knew who BNJ was. We knew he
Hmm.
had already kind of proven himself. And I don't know, I don't want to say it's disappointing, but I feel like we expected a lot more out of Burger Flip coming into the season. I think I had you guys power ranked number 3 in week 0. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah, I think a lot of what it was is we like both of our well, TJ not as much. TJ wasn't really as like a weak side top player as much, but he kind of played like one when he was with us, and there were also just some communication and like different standpoint issues with TJ.
mhm.
Um, but then also with Kenzii, like we have the weak side top players, which is completely fine. But then it's also B and J. We want to play towards him, obviously, but he isn't the type to play the super aggressive all in bot lane. He's more of the I'll sacrifice my lane matchup to scale to late game and kind of carry that way. And I think just that, on top of the fact that Yumi is more of an enchanter player and less of a tank player, has kind of limited my champion pool in order to make these comps work.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
Mhm.
also I don't have the priority that I used to have. Like when I played with MIT, we would draft bot lane prio so that I could go do the dragon win cons, and we would have like 24-minute souls in some of our games. And so it's we weren't able to execute like the game plan that I've been used to. So we've just been trying to adapt how we play the game, at
Oh,
least from
yeah.
my standpoint. Because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was my experience all of last season was just play through bot lane prio, have mid jungle roam and make plays, and then you just have your weak side top side. But it's okay because that's the only weak side lane. So I think that's just been some of the issues we've been having.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that all makes sense because like I was mentioning earlier, like when I was talking to Kenzii, he mentioned that I mean like it's really obvious that BNJ is one of your really strong carry players and it's like Kenzii is kind of limited to more of the tank duty top laners, like you said, because of your supports champion. Well, and there's nothing wrong with playing the enchanters, and it's okay
Yeah,
to yeah,
like she
right.
plays the enchanters well and everything. It's just that
It
it sort of
does,
limits my
yeah.
champion pool, and teams have been picking up on it and banning out what I have that's good at like fighting and has early prio, so that
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck on the other options.
Okay, that yeah, I do see where you're coming from. That all makes a lot of sense, honestly. Then, so going into the last week of the split, this is the last week, and if you guys lose against let me pull up the schedule. Yeah, you guys are on stream
Subversive.
again this week. Yep, you guys are against Subversive. So Subversive is also a team that's around the same position as you guys. Like they came in strong to the season. They 2-1'd MIT, and then they've just haven't been able to pick up a win since.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know exactly. I talked to Subversive in the second week, so I don't know what's been going on with them for the last other two. But yeah, what do you guys think going into this matchup then against Subversive? Because this game matters for both of you. So whoever wins, I think, I don't know if Clutch can correct me on this. Whoever wins, will they get a playoff spot? Or is that just like depends on how the other teams play?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on tiebreakers.
But
from what I
like,
know.
if you don't win, you're out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. If you don't win, you
if we
are
win,
out
there's
for
a
sure.
chance, but if we lose, it's yep.
So then, what are your
But-
thoughts going into this week against Subversive?
It's kind of funny. Like obviously Subversive has some good players and everything like that, but I feel like we've been playing more against ourselves this season than we have other teams. It's more of like if we can get our game plan figured out and get away with a draft that we're comfortable with and kind of play how we want to play, we usually end up winning the games just fine. But
Mhm.
whenever something like a wrench gets thrown into our draft and we have to pick some stuff that we're not so happy with, it ends up not working out as well. Just because I think as a team, a lot of us are used to playing a certain way, especially myself, I'll admit. Like, I am used to having the bot lane prio and being able to kind of run the game from where I want it to be run.
Right.
But when that doesn't work out, it's a little hard to find the lines as far as like macro and making the right decisions for the right plays. And so that's been our problem more than like our team fights. Like our team fights that we take when we want them, we usually win. It's just that a lot of the times we seem to be forced into some not so favorable positions due to draft or just due to how the game has been playing out.
Oh, okay. So you guys are streamed again. So you guys are the only team that got streamed twice in a row. So yeah, like did you guys feel like even last week there was a lot of pressure on the match against Chicago Dragons because I think Chicago Dragons, they're a team that was really picking up momentum really quickly, and I mean they've gone undefeated since week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been doing really well. There definitely was some pressure, I will say. But I think a lot of what it boiled down to was just our inability. Well, a lot of teams have this problem, I guess, but teams having an inability to play from behind past the early game. And we were allowing them to get a pick like the Udyr, which just does not spell good things for the early game. So I think that was where our trouble began. And then, like I said, we've also just been like trying to adjust our playstyle so we weren't super comfortable, not comfortable
Okay.
enough to play from behind anyway.
That makes sense. So, actually, I'll go back to you then, Kenzii. So you were saying that, like you were kind of forced onto tanks and you wanted to play more carry style jungler, not junglers, sorry, top laners. And so going into this last week, as it's on stream as well, like, do you think that, like, trying this new style, if you are playing the carries instead of playing around bot lane, do you think that could help you or kind of just give you the win in this series against Subversive?
Well, actually, I'm not 100% sure. I like to have faith in my skill, but like, after last week where I just got like destroyed completely, it was like I think a big reason we lost was just top gap or something. I got destroyed by Noodle.
I don't blame you.
My
Noodle is like one of the top laners right now just because just from stats alone and just he's kind of been gapping everybody. So I mean
Mhm.
I don't think that's something that you should blame yourself for, but sorry, you can continue.
so like I like I'm trying to it's hard to explain, but like I yeah, I hope so. I maybe no
Yeah.
words
I
are
think,
hard.
we're trying a few things. What we might do with this new kind of style that we're running, well, new to me, is that I could see us picking for Kenzii just like to win lane, to have a favorable matchup, and to not be the weak side up there in top. I could see that working, seeing as I can't really provide him as much attention when we're playing the bot lanes that we're playing.
Hmm.
So I could definitely see that being a thing. I think we were more or less just kind of stuck in trying to draft the super traditional comps, but then it being a little awkward for our champion pools just due to how we had to switch things around.
Yeah,
Mhm.
especially if like if things don't really line up or, work together like you were saying.
Yeah, because I think teams were starting to catch on to that and getting some really choice bands in there that were pinching me
Oh.
and others pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I'm remembering correctly as well, so next week, so you guys are up against Subversive, and Subversive does have the same record as you, I believe. Both you guys are
Yeah,
both
we're both 1-3.
yeah, you guys are
Mhm.
both 1-3, but you guys do have the higher game differential. And
Mhm.
let's see, and then last week you guys went against Chicago Dragons, and then the week before that it was yeah. So when you guys 2-0'd MIT, what do you guys think happened? Like, what allowed you to succeed?
Well, a lot of it was due to them just allowing us to get the comfortable picks. And well, at least I am pretty familiar with some of those MIT players, so I kind of knew what their game plan would be, how they wanted to play, that sort of thing. And so we just tried to draft comps that could play around what they more than likely would play. And then, like I said, I think we play really well as long as our game plan isn't super disrupted and our draft isn't awkward for us. I think we do really well. A lot of
Mhm.
our losses in the earlier weeks, we still looked good. It was just kind of we made one really bad macro decision in the late game or something like that, or took a fight we shouldn't have. So those are losses that we weren't too upset about. But the losses where we didn't look so good as something like we had a draft issue or just the game didn't play out the way we thought it would, and it's a little hard for us to get on back on track as a team if that happens.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. Like your guys' whole season and whole record is interesting because like you guys lost to Revolution week 1. Obviously, that was before you guys had Kenzii join the team. And then week
Mm-hmm.
2, you guys were really close to beating CB Rookies. That's why I mean, at least for me, I still thought you guys were one of the top teams. Like I honestly would
Mm-hmm.
have put you I did have you guys higher than Chicago Dragons for a really long time because I don't know, I just saw how you guys played, like especially the game you guys won against Revolution in the first week and then in the second week, like I don't know, I was seeing that you guys were still taking games off of teams that I thought were also really good. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like maybe you guys just need to have like one more push, one more thing that's just not quite there yet. And then I saw like I saw the spark, in week 3 you guys 2-0'd MIT and I was like, "Okay, Burger Flip is like, you know, picking up speed. You guys are, locking in what you need to and making things work." And then just I don't know, week 4 kind of crumbled when you
Mm-hmm.
guys lost against Chicago Dragons. So, and again, like this week, you guys are against Subversive. So, what are you guys looking to prove then this week?
I think we're not really looking to prove ourselves as much as just try to find our groove, like the way that we want to play again. Last week seemed to just be some issues with our early game, especially due to letting the Udyr pick through. Like I said, that definitely hurt us. I didn't really want that to be a thing with the way that I like to play the game,
Yeah.
because you can't
Udyr
really
is a
challenge him
huge
very
pick
well.
for Chicago Dragons. He gets
Yeah.
picked Udyr like every time it's up.
Yeah, well, that is like okay in itself, but Udyr, when I know that we are playing the team comps that we are playing and we have the lane prowls that we have, it's just not a good thing to ever allow because you can manage an Udyr,
Yeah.
if you have the lane prowls to do so, like if he's not allowed to do those things. But yeah, just the way that we play our comps and the way our bot lane and everything ends up looking, I knew it was not going to be a good time to let that pick through.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so I was like, I'm not really, I didn't lose my faith in the team really as much as I just think we made some mistakes there. And we're definitely not a team that at the moment can come back from that sort of an early game. So that's just something we'll have to work on.
It is really difficult because like I talked to Chicago Dragons last week. They're a team that they were all friends beforehand and they've played a lot of just like flex and norms together. So they're very used to playing like a kind of solo queue style. They they just kind of play to just kill people over and over again. And it's shown a lot through their early game because, like I said, they just they just try to skill gap and skill check people.
Yeah, for sure. And with some of the picks they were given, they definitely had ample opportunity. So I think that was the majority of the problem there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't really so much that we weren't playing very well, as much as we just weren't allowed to play the early game like we normally want to. And then from there, when we're behind, we have issues with catching back up and knowing the fights to take and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. So then, what do you think makes you guys different than the other teams? Just because, like, I don't know, I've just seen a lot of up and downs from Burger Flip. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's the
a
flip.
lot of it's pretty interesting. Yeah, definitely some flip factor there. But I think what differs us from most teams is we do have the really standard double tank or double frontline engage comp that we'll run. That's just like a 5v5 team fight comp. But I think we also run the protect the carry comp really well, which works out surprisingly well with B&J. Like Gragas has always been one of my favorite champions. I play Sejuani, which I haven't gotten to play yet, but I play a lot of like the Peel sort of style
Yeah, like you
tanks.
want to just kind of enable your
Yeah,
carries
and,
and set
and
up
then CERM, of
stuff.
course, is just the control mage player, so that works out even better. So that was something that we had like a really good comp to set up was that peel. Well, you could peel or you could protect the carry. And so we've enjoyed that comp. That's our main difference from these other 5v5 press R comps that you see going around here.
Okay, so then who do you think is the best jungler in the league? I'll ask Kenzii later who he thinks is the best top laner, but out of
To
everyone
be
you've gone against.
to be completely honest, I am not sure. It's kind of close. Um, I definitely did like the way Ambition played when we played against him, even though we won.
Mm-hmm.
He was making the best decisions that he could make within like the what he was given to do in
Yeah.
those games. You know, like it's nice to see him trying to stay as even as he can and also influencing the map even when his team is behind like that. Was definitely good to see. A lot of junglers will just hole up and power farm, you know, when their team gets behind like that, and just kind of tell themselves that they can't make any plays, so it's not worth it. Even though sometimes there's an opportunity for the sacrifice play just to get the trade and get a shutdown on your carry, and he was
Yeah.
definitely trying to do that whenever he could.
All right, then what about you,
So
Kenzii? Who
mhm.
do you think is one of
Uh,
the best top laners you've gone against other than I guess you'll probably say Noodle.
yeah. I don't know, man. I just got like completely outskilled, out macroed. I just completely lost. Like there was no bright spot there. I played bad. He played good. End of story. Kind of type deal.
That does
Mm.
happen.
Yeah,
I've
that definitely
yeah,
happens.
that's
And
okay.
then I also
Especially in
think,
top lane, that's like the most volatile lane and the hardest to recover sometimes.
yeah. Although I've never gone up against him, but I still think he's a good top laner and stuff. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's like uh the CB top laner, like Siege or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows how to say it. If you ever or they or if they ever listen to like the stream or like these podcasts or anything or the pregame show, no one knows how to say it. It's like psych, like no one knows. So
I'll
hopefully they
ask
don't
him. I'll
listen.
ask him. I'll ask him later.
Oh no.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
see what.
they did play pretty well, yeah, when we played against them. Actually, you weren't
He
there for it,
no.
Kenzii, but yeah.
I against CB I was, but I lined up against what's his face?
Oh, okay, I was mistaken then. Yeah, they have a sub top or something?
No, they had no, they had the I forgot. It was their starting top laner.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And then like he quit after that week or
Oh,
whatever. Cause like
right.
Oh, is
apparently
Oh,
that
he
what
got
are you
happened?
talking about Chef Boy who was on
yeah
CB
Chef Boy.
Rookies? Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
cause like he got tilted or something, and just like the team didn't like that. That's my guess on what happened. Like apparently he mute deafened like 10 minutes in or something.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah, that's a yikes.
That was I think it was because the Nocturne versus Nargim. Like I beat him in lane.
Mhm.
I think I did good in lane. It's just after lane I really played really bad.
Yeah, it's
You
okay.
know do you know the game I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Would be. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. It's all good.
I'm still upset about that because that was a very winnable game.
That's true, but I mean that happens. It's all good.
Yeah, I think that was also the first week I was there, which
Yeah,
like just
I was
I'm
about
not
to
comfortable.
say we were still slotting you in, finding out where we wanted like you to be within our team comp and what we should put you
Yeah,
on. So not
yeah,
really too much to blame yourself about there.
yeah. I'm glad that the game we took is the game out where I went 1-6.
I'm
Yeah,
glad that the game we took is the game where I went 1-6.
That was the one game I got to play Fiora too.
yeah.
No. You're like, I
I think
want to
Yeah,
that's
play
I
Fiora and
think that's a lot of
Camille.
I think that's a lot of the reason why he was shut down afterwards on those picks because I don't mind them if we can fit them into our comp,
Uh-huh.
but when that's your first showing, it's
Who's
sad.
been
yeah.
drafting for you guys? Has it been Kuma?
No, it's
No, it's
actually been Serm and
Serm.
myself.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
okay.
you're going to Def this week for us, right? Because
Probably,
yeah,
yeah.
uh,
But yeah, me and Serm, he'd pull up the Excel sheet and we'd go back and forth about it for an hour before our games and everything. We'd also check out our OPGGs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it has been Serm and myself that have been drafting for the most
Oh,
part.
okay. Because I thought
oh
Kuma
yes,
was your coach.
He is, but we have
yes,
Okay.
been drafting. He has
yeah,
been not available for our game times more often than not, so we've had to
yeah.
Oh,
make
okay. That's
do.
fair. I don't know if you guys know, I used to play on the same team as Kuma in my very first competitive team.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of
he was my jungler, and even though he doesn't play jungle.
Mm.
that.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, he used to draft for our team, so that's what I kind of thought was happening for you guys. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
okay.
No, yeah, it's actually been myself and Serm pretty much the whole way, except for I think week 1 he was there.
Oh, okay. So then what do you think has changed now that Serm isn't on the team anymore? Do you think, like, with the new mid laner, you're losing a lot of mid jungle synergy, like we talked about earlier, and
Yeah,
now you're
we are
losing
losing a lot
your
of.
pal that drafts with you?
Yeah, it is a little sad. Yeah, we're losing our mid jungle synergy and everything like that. We're definitely going to try to make do with what we can, but that is
Uh,
something that we've been thinking about with possibly having top side not be the weak side anymore and seeing if
Mm-hmm.
that kind of frees up our draft a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then we can get away with more if I'm not having to try to manage top and bot lane at the same time. Because that was how it was previously. Is like I'd bounce back and forth between top and bot, knowing that mid would be the rock that it was, and I'd come by and gank whenever I could. There was a lot to manage at the moment, and then if either one of them fell behind, it's really hard to juggle everything as a jungler, at least on the picks that I am allowed at the moment.
who's our
Yeah.
oh sorry, this is a weird question, but who does our mid play? Like who do you think he's going to play tomorrow?
I haven't actually gotten with him yet. I was going to get with
I
him
neither
during
have
the
I.
Oh,
That's why
night.
I'm
because
asking.
you
I
guys
have
Yeah.
have
yet.
an e-sub, I'm going to guess now, because rosters have locked and Kuma told me to, like, delete the old mid laner that he told me.
Yep.
So I
So
need
it's
to
gonna
still do that on the roster sheet. But yeah, so you guys are going into an e-sub as well tomorrow for
I
yeah,
game
haven't
it's
not
day.
definitely going to
spoken
be
with him
interesting. You know,
or talked to him. I have
we're
no
gonna
idea
try to
who
get
he
it
is.
figured out tonight.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's definitely a last minute thing with Cerm leaving and everything. We've been looking for the past few days, and we had one or two that we thought would work out, and then the schedule with her wasn't lining up. So then we had to try and look for somebody else last minute as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so then
Yeah,
if you guys make it into so theoretically, if you guys win, it's very possible you guys get a playoff spot depending on how the other matches go. And so if you guys do win and go into playoffs, what do you think that's gonna look for you? Like, look, how's it gonna look? You're gonna get you guys gonna have a new mid laner, and then maybe, like, if you guys win this series, you'll see maybe we do win with, like, top lane carries, or maybe we do win if we play around, like, these kind of different play styles.
yeah. I'm not even so much as like top lane carries, more or less just picking for a good matchup where he can be self sufficient. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely carries if we can get him on it. I think it is nice to not have the solo carry threat. Like that's why we would put Nico on, or sorry, Serm on the Nico and the Diana sometimes, just to have more of like an impact as far as spreading out our threats, because it is kind of easy to punish a BNJ if he's on a singular threat like a Jinx or something that isn't very mobile. We have to play that sort of peel comp really well in order to allow him the ability that he needs to carry the game. So I think it would be nice to kind of spread that out, you know, not have everything riding on BNJ, because that is a lot of pressure and it's definitely something that other teams would be able to pinpoint pretty easily.
Yeah, because I think I mean all of the other bot lanes are, I think they're all really good as well. I don't even know. Apparently Rook is like MIA, but I think Rook, Cauldron, and Brave X, they're like one of the best bot lane duos already. And BNJ, like I I've said it a lot, and I think that BNJ is really up there with the ADCs, right? I don't remember if he's on the All Star battle. I'm pretty
I
sure he
think he
is.
is pretty
Yeah,
sure.
He is. I voted for him. If we're allowed to do that.
I voted for him, so I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like it's really difficult because there are so many other good bot lanes in the league, and if your best player is, or one of your traditional carries and people who you've been putting resources into is someone that is going to go against so many other good bot laners and could be mitigated, right? And then I don't know what you're left with, right? And like who else can
Yeah,
carry?
and it's not even so much as him being mitigated. I think as a player, he is perfectly fine with just like going even in lane, and he's really good at that. Like very seldom loses lane
Mm-hmm.
outside of jungle intervention. So then, as long as he's going even and he's scaling on the champion that he wants to, like Jinx or Kaisa or anything like that, then he's going to be what we need him to be. But what we've been trying to get out of him, which I think has been putting too much pressure on him, is trying to get him ahead early and trying to feed him the kills and trying to get him, big sooner, just
Oh,
because we
yeah.
have no other way to win these games just with the comps that we are drafting outside of me being on like a Lilia pick sometimes. But then, like I said, that just starts to pinch our comp with what we had been playing as
Yeah,
far
I've
as like
noticed that a
our
lot
comp.
too. I did mention it in my power rankings, but like I mentioned, and I saw like, especially in last week's games, in the first game where I mentioned this again, but BNJ when he was playing Kaisa, and you guys were down like, I think you guys had like one or two kills that game at that Baron
Mhm.
fight going into it, and then BNJ just pulls out a Quadra, and it's like this game isn't over yet, and
Yeah, and I think that's where he wants to be. But when it's
mhm.
only him, then suddenly, if he ever goes down for some reason, even if it's just like a small mechanical error, which happens from time to time, like I think it was when he ulted, I got caught right above the Raptor pit or by Baron, and
Okay.
he ulted in to trade for a kill, but then he died, and then suddenly
Oh, yeah.
they get the Baron for free because there's no way in a million years that we do anything without
I
BNJ.
do remember which fight you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
because like now
and it
BNJ
was
is
one of
dead and you
those.
have no damage left, right?
Yeah, and it was one of those things. If you go back, we went back to the VOD. If he would have ulted to the other side and flashed out after he traded the kill, then we would have been fine. But that's,
Mm-hmm.
heat of the moment. You can't ever tell those things. And just the fact that the whole game hinges on him when we pick him as the solo carry is just a little bit too much pressure. I think it would be nice to
Yeah.
spread our carry threats out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it is a game, like it is a 3 game series. So, first game, try something out, I think that would, I mean, you don't have much to lose at that point, but
Yeah, I think it would keep us unpredictable as well because, like I said, our drafts, just due to the fact that a lot of our players were new and we were like trying to slot them in and we didn't want to try anything too crazy yet, we would just go for very standard drafts
yeah.
with the solo carry threat. But it's pretty easy to sniff that out and to ban the right things when you start taking a look back at our previous weeks. So I think it would be good to switch something up.
I agree.
So yeah, then
Mainly
like
because I'd be the one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you can finish what you were saying. I was gonna ask you another question.
Oh, go ahead. You can ask.
Well, I mean, we're going into the last, again, like this is the last week of the regular split, and if you guys lose,
We're
um,
out.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you
Hmm.
guys have to go home.
Yeah.
And yeah, like then with that, you guys think you're willing to take that risk? Just kind of change your draft, change who your carries are, and just take a shot in the dark and see if it works or not?
I think we definitely should for a game one, just because I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to shake things up before we start to get kind of a mental gap with the way that we're drafting and everything. It feels bad to just like try the same thing over and over again and get shut down when it
Yeah.
doesn't go well. So I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
would be good to switch something up.
I've noticed that a lot. It's like when you guys get that draft you guys are good at playing and are used to, then it's like, I mean, you 2-0 MIT. You just completely like just dominate teams, right? And you
Mhm.
guys just win. But then like you were saying, when you guys are forced to pick things that aren't just working with the draft you guys are used to, or things
Yeah,
are
or if
kind of
we let
just
something
shuffled.
through, yeah, like
Yeah, and if
letting
things
the
work,
meteor
they
through, I think
work.
was the problem that whole
Hmm.
series. I think it would have been a different game for sure.
Yeah, and when things work, they work really well. But it's like it's a really really careful balance, I think, with burger flip. And what I've seen so far throughout the season is just like when it works, it's like it's so hard for any team to stop you guys when you guys get that working formula, but it's like it's so easily thrown off.
For sure. It's definitely like I can already more often than not tell how the game is going to go by about like 10 minutes in, just how everything is going. Because the games that we win, I'm pretty much trying to plan out everything that we're doing. I'm letting people know ahead of time. We're going to
Hmm.
go take a fight here in 2, 3 camps. I'm going to make a gank here. And, I'm kind of trying to set the stage for everything and lay out where and when we should fight. But it's really hard as soon as we start getting behind to know if the calls that I'm trying to make are going to work or not, especially when as a team we're sort of newer and we might not have that much knowledge of each other yet and how we play and what the things that we would want to go for are.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit unlucky because with you guys, if we did have a longer season, a longer split, then obviously you have more weeks to kind of figure that stuff out and kind of get everything together. But now we're
Yeah,
like
that
at
is
week
that
5
is true.
already. Like honestly, I don't even remember all of those weeks going by.
Yeah, they have definitely flown by, and like you said, yeah, a lot of these teams are already kind of have been put together or have played in the past, and us as a team, we just kind of got put together for this league. Besides myself and Serm, so it's definitely been growing pains pretty much every week, especially after changing some players out as well.
That's why I think this whole first season of EDL has been so interesting because again, like I said, we are a new league and a lot of teams have just kind of been put together. Be like, you know what? You guys can just play in this league. Like MIT, they were the whole sub roster that just kind of
Yep.
got put together. And I think they've been working together really well now. And same with Chicago Dragons, like, well, they weren't just put together, but it's all of their first times in competitive.
Yeah, for sure. A
So
lot of new blood has been coming into this league.
yeah, so I mean, like I talked to people about it, and it's EDL, like D as in the development, and I like seeing people grow, and it's only been 5 weeks, but I've seen so much improvements from just everybody, and I think that's what leagues should be for, even if you don't win. I still have yet to realize my chip dreams, so that, that's just my point of view.
No, yeah, I
He'll get there
totally
someday.
understand.
Man, I'm just gonna bench warm until I get a chip.
Sag.
Yeah. Come out for one game. Oh, but like be like, oh, I participated. I won the chip. Let's go.
I don't
Type
even have
thing.
enough games for like any league right now.
I have
Sad.
almost like 250 or so. I don't know. I have over
Yeah,
200.
he plays a fair amount.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, I mean all of last season I think I played like 280 games, like right under 300. And that was the whole season. So I was never a lot of, I wasn't really a big grind ranked player, but
Yeah,
I'm just
I
grinding
understand that as
support.
well.
I
Yeah,
like it though.
It's actually funny. Kenzii and I both used to be support mains, and like I said, like last season, I played jungle for MIT. It was actually my first season committing to jungle as a main role, so it's definitely been fun
Oh, it was so
these past two
opposite for
seasons.
me. I used to play jungle back in like season 4. I used to be a big
Oh,
Vi
okay.
Rengar player, like also playing Warwick.
Hmm.
And then like I was like playing ranked and I was like, nah, I don't want to jungle. This is lame. Everyone just flames me. And I started playing Thresh. And I would just like one trick Thresh.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
season 7 rolled around and then
yeah.
Rakan came out and now here we are. Now I'm
Here we
just a
are.
Rakan one
Oh,
trick
yeah.
in
Okay.
competitive and people just yep, just
Here we
never
are.
go. And here we
I
are,
definitely
honestly.
understand that though.
Yeah.
My Rakan's like great.
I definitely
I
understand that in solo queue though. A lot of what I've been doing has been just playing top lane and support to de-stress from the jungle role in solo queue because it definitely does feel like the game's out of your hands sometimes if you're not on a carry jungle.
Yeah, and then we were talking about it too, how the other like last patch when they did the big jungle changes, right? It
Yeah.
really, really pushed people away from like the carry junglers, right? Jungle can't just solo carry. They can't just clear,
Yeah,
and we
now you're gonna be
saw
on a low
champions like
economy
Udyr
jungler.
fall out of the meta and Lilia and people like Graves, right? And that I think those changes actually just slaughtered Graves and all of his potential
Yeah,
to be a
Graves was
carry.
already kind of on the edge of
Yeah, he
being
was already kind of
well,
falling out of the meta, I think.
yeah. A lot of the reason why he was still even in pro play was just due to being a comfort pick for a lot of players. So I think that was just like a misrepresentation
Yeah.
where the games Graves was winning weren't really due to Graves, bar a few exceptions. It's kind of just Graves riding on the good drafting that they have for him and the prio that he gets to enjoy.
I
Because
felt like whenever
any
I
jungler
just
that
like
can
watched
power farm well,
Broxa play Graves, I was like, what is going on?
yeah, that's true.
It's
That
like,
is
what is
quite
he
true.
doing? Honestly.
Yeah, so I definitely I feel that as well. Like I've never been what do you call it? I've never really been committed to either carry or tank jungle. I've played a lot of both, but these last 2 seasons, a lot of what both teams have needed from me has been tank jungle, which is a little unfortunate because it's funny you mentioned Vi. That was actually my main champion when I first started playing jungle. I would play a lot of Vi and Jarvan and Elise back in the day.
Yeah, those champions are just, ones that work, right? And you're there for your team. You do what you need to
Yeah,
do.
I've actually been thinking about Jarvan here lately. He seems to be in a little bit better of a spot here with these new items that have been coming out.
I
I think
think the
it kind
same
of
with
helps him
Elise.
not be as
Okay.
useless.
I think
Elise,
Elise is like really good right now as a
I
jungle
think she's
pick.
good, but she's a little hard in fives to make
Mhm.
work because she kind of has to snowball as a champion, or she's
Mhm.
just not going to be very useful past like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I
So I think
don't
a lot
remember
of players
exactly
have,
where, but
yeah, a lot of players have just been leaning towards Echo and maybe Gragas or Lilia as like the go-to AP jungles at this moment because they're a little more stable than Elise is.
mhm.
All right. So,
Really like especially with her ult too.
oh
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
always be impactful. Like even if you're
Yeah.
0-10, you
True.
still have R.
I swear, I was playing a ranked game the other day. I was like half the river away, and I still got slept. I was so upset.
Oh no, yeah, that's definitely.
But yeah, I mean, we are getting around to the end of our time together. So, you guys have any other closing remarks or anything you wanted to say for the last week going into it?
I hope I just don't run it down tomorrow. Since
On
I'm gonna stream
stream?
the game.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
on stream, so we'll be
Yeah,
watching.
Yeah.
yeah, it's all good. I think, like we said, we just want to try to put top lane in a place of more stability, and then try to play the game from there without having to juggle so many things like we have been in the past. Because, like you said, it was a very tight balance that we had to play with our
Mhm.
comps, and if it gets offset, then it just doesn't look like it ever goes well for us. So I think
Yeah.
that's the plan.
I also don't think first timing Poppy was the best idea ever.
I
Yeah,
don't
that
think first timing
yeah.
any champion in competitive is usually the play.
Yeah, we had picks lined up for you, but he was feeling the poppy, so we
Oh,
let it rip.
no, I said no, actually, Sir was going to pick me Shen or something, but I said oh Poppy's like really good in the Wukong according to the thing that you're looking at,
Yeah,
and I
Is
played
it
the
like
thing before.
we didn't
u.gg
get it
the
till
Wukong
after.
counters?
Yeah, it was just that was my first time playing her in like this season, but I played a bit of her last season, like
Yeah.
Okay.
top
Mhm.
back when I did play top, because I hate playing top like in solo queue. It's just not fun whatsoever.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I mean, I
Which
am
is why
rooting for
I
you
just
guys. Yeah, I mean, we'll be
yeah.
watching on stream tomorrow, and yeah, I hope to see whatever you guys pull out tomorrow work, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would like to
There will
say
be
you're
some
going to.
tough matches, though.
They for sure they will be. And what we
No, I was going to say on stream tomorrow. I would like to say you're going to see a good performance from me, but I am not 100% sure. So you're going to see something from me.
We'll see something.
Yeah.
oh
Just hope
Now
like
if
the
it's
directed camera doesn't like pan over you too often.
yeah, there
th-
you go.
that'll be my worst nightmare.
Just bribe the cameraman, Kenzii. It'll be
The sad
okay.
thing, okay, so like another thing was last week since we're on stream, I
Mhm.
told like my friends like in real life and like my IRL friends and stuff, hey, watch me, I'll be streaming this week, and they got to watch me, they got to watch me run
Oh
it down.
no.
Yeah, see,
That was
I have that problem
That's
too
no
when
fun.
I first started playing, I was like I would tell my friends like, "Hey, look, I'm playing." But then I used to get so nervous like knowing I was on stream clutch
damn.
cuz
I was
I played
so
for
nervous yesterday.
VBU. Yep, I know what you mean.
I was so
VBU
nervous.
was always streamed by Clutch. And like,
I will-
oh my, so many people would like, because it was just like in org streams. So a lot of my friends would like show up and like, hey, you're playing today, right? I'm like, yeah. And then I would play Thresh and just like run it.
Yeah. Okay. You're running
And
it
then
down.
my ADC was like, one week I just played so bad, and he was like, "Who was on your account? Like,
Oh, no.
what was going on? Like, who are you?" And I've been playing with him for like over a year now, so he was
He
like,
hit you with like, "Is that your sibling playing?"
"Yeah, honestly, he was like, who was on your account? Like, it just wasn't you." So, yeah, I mean, you guys were streamed last week. You're streamed this week, so it's all right. You guys got the first stream out of the way, and yeah, like going into this week, I'm rooting for you guys, like I said.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll try to get our game plan sorted, and I think hopefully it should fare better for us than last week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we almost didn't have the Burger Flip podcast this week, but this is why I like talking to teams. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that is pretty much all the time we have. So, yeah, and we'll see you guys on stream tomorrow, and hopefully you guys, I don't know, hopefully we'll see you guys in playoffs too. So,
Thank you. I
Hopefully.
appreciate it. Thanks for
I
having
all
don't
me.
think
right.
I'll get the Leona top I talked
Well,
about the
The
other day.
Yeah, probably not, bud. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Unfortunate.
Just hover
Alright.
Leona tomorrow, and then I'm gonna tell Clutch or Kobe Matthews to
Yeah.
point it out. So
There we go.
I will actually. I will.
hover
him,
that
like,
Leona, we'll see it.
I will.
Sounds like
I
a
will.
plan.
I might
Okay.
I might accidentally misclick the lock-in button too, if team lets
Uh-oh,
me.
remaking draft. Remake
Okay, so
lobby.
the first week I was here,
Mhm.
sorry, I know we're running off time. I'll make
It's
it quick.
okay.
The
It's
first
okay.
week we were here, we actually did have to remake the draft because like top lane you have to like do the pick and bans and stuff. And this is like
And
my
it was
first
his
split.
first time. Yeah.
That was like my first time ever doing it. So I
I'm
so I
so
banned the
glad
first
I
three
play
champions.
support. Like, I don't have to click the champions and ban.
Mhm. And
Mhm.
so what I do is like we banned Mordekaiser or something.
Mhm.
I picked the Mordekaiser and then banned the Shen, which was my pick. You know what I mean? I just like okay, I get one more ban and then I get the pick. And I was like, yeah.
I
And
used
then we
to
had the
write
remake.
out, so on the team I last played on, I would always write out the picks and bans for our top laner. I would say
Yeah,
ban
that's what
and I was like, ban these 3 champions, pick this champion, ban these champions, and like
that's what gets done with me. And
Yep.
I'm so thankful for it because like the pro draft it does not work for me. Like whatever the site we use, it just does not work. It does not load in. So Serm always like typed in the bans. Same with Yumi
oh
and stuff.
yeah.
It's so helpful because
Mhm.
like I'm not very smart, so like I always
I'm
forgot.
not very smart.
I'm
No,
like so we'll ban this person.
I
And
think
then
you
I
guys
think
are a
it's this
lot
person.
better than you guys give yourselves credit for. Like, I know people
Well,
read the
like I
power
said, I
rankings.
think we play really well when we're on, but
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
ourselves to actually be on is quite a task.
That's
So
why it's
that
so
is
hard for me to write the power rankings because, like, I think every team is so close in skill. It's like, I mean, numbers 1 to 6 are not close, but I think, like, skill wise, everyone is really close. And yeah, it's a shame that I can't put people in the same rank because I do think a lot of teams go even, or it's just kind of who's having a better day, right? But
Yeah, for
Should
sure.
do player power rankings like the top 6 top laners, the top 6 junglers.
oh yeah,
And
the
stuff.
top 6 junglers, the top.
That would be fun.
I would ask
eat
Clutch
it
to
up.
see if maybe he wants to do that, but we'll
I
see.
can't wait to go and seeing me as like number 5, number 6. You know, top 6. Let's go. You know,
True,
I
you're
think
a
I think
top
that's
6.
it.
If you put it, yeah. It's like I was
Top
top
6 top
6.
laner in the
Yeah,
EDL.
that's what you tell your
Exactly.
friends, Kenzii, when they
Yeah.
come watch the stream.
I'm a
Exactly.
top 6 top laner in the EDL, and then they'll be like, "How many teams are in the EDL?" I'll be like, 5. You know, yeah,
Yeah, I
Alrighty,
mean,
but
yeah, again, it was great having you guys on the
yeah. It was great
podcast.
being
and-
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry for
Yeah,
joining like 30 minutes late or whatever.
You're good. You're good.
I
So-
queued up for a game at 6:27, and I just completely forgot about it.
It's okay.
then you-
Don't worry about it. I'm flexible, you
Yeah.
know, so it's all right.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see
I'm
you
gonna
guys
head
on
out.
stream tomorrow, and yeah, I think that's all the time we
Bye.
have for today. So
Yeah.
thanks
Yeah.
to everyone that's listening, or Matt Pizza listens to all of the podcasts. So I gotta give Matt Pizza a shout out.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Matt Pizza.
For sure.
Shout out to Matt Pizza. Shout out to everyone who's listening, and again, like going into the last week of the split, I think it's been really great. And yeah, so I think that is where we'll end
Yeah.
it for today.
Alrighty, we'll see you
All
later.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bye.